Who is it?
It's Little Nero, sir. I have your pizza.
Leave it on the doorstep and get the hell out of here.
Okay. Well, what about the money?
What money?
Well, you have to pay for your pizza, sir.
That a fact? How much do I owe you?
That'll be $11.80, sir.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Cheapskate.
Hey, I'm gonna give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good keister off my property before I pump your guts full of lead. 1, 2, 10.
Classic.
Did you watch that this year, Rob?
Oh yeah. My daughter is loving it at the moment. She calls it.
I brought some Christmas cheer. Can you hear this?
Yes, sounds like broken glass.
Jingle bells.
Oh. Yeah, she calls it the Kevin movie. The
Kevin movie.
Yeah, it's very cute.
Do you know what that movie is in German?
No.
Kevin alone in his house.
That's so German. That is so German.
Well, it's very yeah.
How is everybody?
Matter of
Merry Christmas to all our American and international friends, Bancroft.
Yes, indeed. Merry Christmas. I believe it is actually Christmas there. Still.
Who's here? Mr. Monkey Boy, Simply Green, my beautiful dark twisted faggotry. Does Santa wear a bathing suit for Christmas in Australia? He could.
There are cartoons of that, yes.
It gets hot.
There's
it
a
does
lot
get
of
hot over here.
Yeah, there's a lot of like imagery of summer Santa in his thongs and the Barbie and yeah. Interesting fact, back in the day when the British first colonized Australia, they would keep up the English traditions in Australia. And it's a lot of them were out in the country, and that's where it gets really the more inland you go in Australia, the hotter it gets essentially. So they're in country areas, rural areas where it's scorching. We're talking 50 degrees plus, and they're in full, winter gear, standing around a fire inside. I mean, it was insanity.
We've got to translate that for Americans. 50 degrees is about 122 Fahrenheit. So
yeah, hot, scorching.
Yeah. Who we got? Corey's here. Hope you had a good Christmas, dude. Eric Grant, good to see you. Matt Fowler is in the house. Said, "Let's bygones be bogans." That's clever. That's some good wordplay. Mo Biggs is here. Jeremy, I'm looking forward to Jeremy's show today. He's doing a show in about 4 hours, I think. So go check that out later. Scrolling down. Ran
I won't be there, Jeremy. I have Boxing Day with my family.
D's in the house. I've got your stuff ready to go out, my friend. I think he's going to be happy with it, Bancroft. Sometimes when Rob screws up, Rob makes it better than if you'd won. Let's just say that.
Really? Okay.
That's what we're going for anyway. Slacker 23, the Voyager, Dale A. If I'm missing, there's lots of people coming in. Skip's here, good to see you, dude. Scrolling down, Simply Green, Jade Lee, Ranada, Dean. Should I put the link out there for the Australians to pop in, Bancroft? I'll leave that up to you. Live, just put you under the spot like that. Critical Blast is here.
How would you have it so just the Australians come in?
I don't know. I mean, I could DM them, I guess.
Yeah, but, if you're an Aussie in the chat and you want to come in and hang out, this is a very Aussie Christmas.
Yeah, this is. So, do they know, Bancroft? Are they aware that we had our Christmas yesterday?
I think they can put two and two together. I think they understand now how the rotation of the Earth works.
So it's just me that
I was explaining to my kids yesterday that Santa visits New Zealand first.
Yes.
His first stop on his trip.
Bancroft, did you know you can actually track Santa? Like there's a Santa
Yeah. My kids
tracking
have been
app.
doing it. My kids have been doing it for ages, and I don't know, it wasn't very accurate, and they got upset with me because I'm like, I don't think Santa's there. Why would he be over? He was over the middle of Australia, and it was middle of the day yesterday. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Why would he be there?
D, $20. Thank you so much, man. He says Merry Christmas, gun to the head, and the other one, which I forgot what it was now, even though it's my own show, which is
It's
typical
board
Rob.
Mo. So it's Mo trying to shoot himself, and then it's what is it? A fan? What is that?
Number one fan, maybe.
It looks
Let's
like
just go
Donald
with that.
Trump.
Yeah.
Yes, Corey, America has Christmas after us, just like every other day in the year. Every other day, America does it after us.
Corey's incredible.
You're
So
in the future.
what did you guys do for Christmas?
You tell us what you did, Rob, while we wait for the. Oh, they're still doing it. I mean, some people here are still doing Christmas. Even like Mo is it's early on Christmas Day. Well, not early, but I mean it's not nighttime yet.
My mum came up and stayed with us on Christmas Eve, which was good because my daughter hasn't seen her in a couple of months because I got sick and that kind of stuff, and she went away. She's come back and they had a great time. They played Barbies. Phoenix got a Barbie dream house for Christmas, which is like 3 stories of crazy Barbiness. And
oh, really? Yeah, we got one of them for Victoria about 5 years ago. She had one.
Yeah.
Or maybe Santa brought it. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's hard to keep track of who brings what, if it's you or if it's Santa, you know?
Especially when the years pass.
Yeah. Had lobster and a few drinks with friends. Nice.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't have any lobster this year, just prawns. A lot of prawns, oysters, smoked salmon. I didn't have any of the traditional meats.
Really?
Loaded up on I loaded up on seafood. I decided I overate like 2 Christmases ago and vomited all night. And so I pace myself now. And yeah, so this year it's just all been just seafood, which is lighter. It's cold. So
I have something to admit, Bancroft, and I'll do it after I read this. Thank you, Jim Cox, for gifting 10 memberships, man. Thanks so much. I really do appreciate it. It's incredible. Thank you.
10 memberships is legit. That's big.
Did I see someone gift like 20 on your show the other day?
Yes. Yeah, wow. That was incredible.
That's crazy.
That was pretty nuts.
Mo says, is Rob finally coming out of the closet? No, I was just going to say I don't like salmon. I don't like salmon at all.
It builds. Like you can only have so much. You know what? If you need it with some dill or some capers, some onion, some creme fraiche or something. You can't just have it by itself because it does.
So you need it with all these other things to make it palatable.
Garnishes. No, it's great. It's just I understand that why it's not everyone's taste is what I'm saying.
What did you do? What did you do for Christmas? How'd they like it?
The kids got up at 6 a.m. I heard the pitter patter of feet, and Victoria came in. She's a rule follower, so she comes into our bedroom. She's like, I can't sleep. And I'm like, well, okay. Now we hang up stockings, like, big Christmas stockings on their door. So, they get filled and then the kids can come in and, but Clark is like jump out of bed. He just grabbed it straight away and he's like, he starts, getting into it. It's just all small little things. And, that was all exciting. And then after that, we head out to the Christmas tree where Santa had left Clark a Care Bear, a big, cuddly Care Bear.
Oh yeah.
And which is funny. It's the exact same Care Bear that I had when I was 5 as well, which was a funny
Was it a
coincidence.
new one or was it recycled?
No, it
from
wasn't the
the
exact
Bike?
same bear. It's a new one, a new version. Tenderheart is his name. And apparently, yeah, Care Bears are big again. I wasn't aware of that, but they're pretty popular. And Victoria got a Polaroid. They have these new Polaroids now, and they're pretty cool. She got a lavender one.
Awesome.
And yeah,
Like these.
yeah, and then like that exact. Well, actually, they're more portrait.
Right.
They're more
Oh,
like
cool.
the same kind of format you get on a phone, but
A Care
then we
Bear.
went-
You might want to explain that to them, Bancroft.
you guys know Care Bears. Care Bears are international, surely.
We might
I
have
think
to.
they are. They're on
We might-
Netflix and everything. I mean, they were just one of those 80s cartoons that they made to sell toys, and they were massive in the 80s. That's when I had mine, like 85. And
What
now
color
they're
was
coming
yours?
back.
What color was
He's
yours?
like brown. He's brown. He's got a big heart on his chest.
I'm pretty sure you had this one here.
No.
Was that your
No,
Care Bear?
No, that wasn't mine.
No? Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Simply Green says there was a movie in 85. There you go.
You guys weren't privy to this, but after the stream Bancroft did the other day, the Christmas stream, he copped an absolute bollocking from his daughter behind the scenes about his drinking.
Well,
Confirm or deny?
yeah, I mean, they weren't happy that I was drunk. I don't think I was that drunk. I was in a festive mood. You know, it's like that one bottle. It's not enough to get you plastered, but it's definitely enough to put you in a friendly state. And after that, we went in, and I had about an hour or so, and then we went for a walk. I walked off the alcohol, and then we had so we do 3 Christmases here. The French one. So in Europe, they celebrate Christmas Eve. That's the big day. So
In
we
Europe,
do that
they
here.
celebrate Christmas Eve.
That's the
day.
big feast. So the
okay.
big meal and the gift giving happens on Christmas Eve.
Really?
Not so much Christmas Day.
What happens on Christmas? You just
Well, they
wake up
also do
and
have
find it.
they do have a lunch, but it's not as like the big one is Christmas Eve. Anyway, so we did that, and then so yesterday after we'd opened presents and everything, we went over to my dad's place. The kids got more presents. I mean, it was crazy. They've got so much stuff now, and now today, we're going to my mum's place for Boxing Day. So it's just like 3 days in a row of Christmas.
Is it called Boxing Day everywhere?
No, Boxing Day is a British thing. So we've inherited Boxing Day from the English.
Right.
I don't think they don't do it in a lot of places. It's not a thing. So
What do you call the day after Christmas wherever you're from? Is it just the 26th? Is that it? There's no name for it. I'm interested to know. At least
Jeremy says they just don't have one.
Yeah, that's so weird. Randhunter says you guys fight each other after Christmas.
I think it's got to do with the boxes. I don't know, like you pack up the boxes. I don't know. Actually, I have no idea. That's what I always assumed. Like,
we have to figure that out.
The things, the presents come in boxes, and then you've got boxes, and I guess you put them away on Boxing Day. I don't know.
Eric Grant says, "Copped a bollocking has now entered my vocabulary. Thank you, Rob. You're very welcome. Very welcome." It's called Monday. Wow, that's so depressing.
Yeah, we just keep it going. I mean, why stop? Everyone's together. Everyone's giving gifts. Everyone's drinking and eating, because there's always food left over. I mean, we always take home so much food from my dad's place. And our fridge is full of it. Yeah, obviously, because they make too much.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And your dad's partner is hang on, Greek.
That's my stepmother. She's Greek. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
It's good, I'd say.
Well, usually, she back in the day, they used to have a house. They downsized, and everyone would come over, and it would just, so much food you couldn't even imagine. But now they're sort of downsized. It's more just, the family. But even then, she still made about 3 times as much food as we needed.
Nice.
So I did pass out at about 4 p.m. and have a nap on the couch, watching National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Oh, that's a classic. Yeah, classic movie. Pork says the name comes from a time when the rich used to box up gifts to give to the poor. There you go.
We were gifting people.
But then Eric says Australia invented Boxing Day because of the kangaroo incursion of 02. Who are you going to believe?
I think it's been around before 02. Maybe it was 1902.
Pavlova? I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Pavlova.
Mel made a Christmas meringue thing where she made these tranches, these levels of meringue. She hand makes her meringue. And then she put whipped cream and raspberries on them and then layered them one on top of the other. And there were these little areas where she scooped out ice cream and it was this whole thing. I call it the Tower of Terror. And she didn't like that. She took offense to that.
I feel like Mel is sending you mixed signals, Bancroft. She's like, look at all this beautiful, lovely food I've cooked for you. Yet, don't you dare get fat.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would be so much skinnier if I was by myself. That's 100%. But, I don't know. She's a paradox.
But Mo says Boxing Day is like the metric system, a communist op. God damn. Great sales on Boxing Day.
Yeah, you gonna buy anything? In Australia, all the sales start, all the big sales start on Boxing Day. Actually, Black Friday is getting to be as big as or bigger than Boxing Day lately.
Are you getting anything? New TV?
We already got that. We got that on Black Friday.
Cool.
15 years our TV lasted.
Plasma? Was it plasma?
Yeah. That's what the guy said, is like, get this, they'll last forever. And the TV itself lasted forever. It was the electronics, like to turn it on and off, that gave way. We probably could have gotten it fixed, but whatever.
Pork says,
what other movies did you watch?
What? That was it. That we just watched Home Alone. Pork says, Rob and Bancroft, women feed their men and get them fat so other women will be repulsed by them. Okay.
I don't think I'm repulsive yet.
Oh, dude, I found someone who looks like you in like 15 years. I swear. I'm going to find him now. He's like, I saw him on...
I've looked like many people over the years, and it usually depends on my haircut. Like, I'd be out at a bar, and random people would come to me and say, do you know who you look like?
Dude, like, and seriously.
I usually be able to say it, depending on what hair I had. So for ages, I was the guy from Lost, Matthew Fox. That's when I had a shaved head, and he had a shaved head. It was like, oh my God, you're Matthew Fox. And then when I had more of a coif, everyone said I was Jake Gyllenhaal, which was cool because, like, he's a very handsome man. I'm like, oh yeah, that's good. But then I got older. Things changed.
Are you ready for this? I don't know if Chad is ready for this, but like, dead ringer.
Oh yeah, it's the eyes. I didn't have that jaw. I would love that jaw, but that's not me.
That is
same chin.
That is
He's got nicer teeth.
Perfect.
I have better ears than him, but yeah, the eyes, that's pretty bang on. The eyes and the ears and the nose are not right, but the eyes, they're my eyes.
This guy, he's rich, Bancroft. You could pretend to be him and like go check in at hotels and you'd be like, I'm Grant Cardone. I don't
know who that is.
He was a real estate dude.
Oh. I have a white tuft coming in right here in under my lip. So I've had these growing in for pretty much since I had this channel. It's just slowly been getting grayer and grayer. But I don't really have any other gray hair, so
Mo says when Bancroft doesn't wear a hat, he gets Bart Simpson.
no. I also used to get who's Pacey from Dawson's Creek. I also used to get him a bit.
Oh, Joshua Jackson? Is that what it is?
Maybe. I don't know. Everyone used to say, Pacey. Yeah.
Pacey. I'm gonna look it up. I don't know how you get that. I really don't. Like, I don't see that one at all. Let's have a quick look.
I didn't really either, but people used to say it. Like more than when I have hair, that's what my hair looks like when I let it grow out a bit. It's exactly that. Like even all those styles there, the one that looks like a Lego haircut, that's my hair when it grows out. Exactly that. It's wavy and curly and
so they're just saying it based on what your hair looks like.
well, and I have the big eyebrows too, I think.
That's a bit of a stretch, I think. That's a bit of a stretch. My one
I
was
can
like
see it.
dead
I can
ringer.
see
it. D is saying
Mo says that dude always looked pretty gay.
I watched a new Witcher show. Do not do it. It's very bad. Very, very bad. What's the new one?
The Blood Origin. Yeah. It's getting
that?
They made you won't believe what's going on with that show. They made a new one. I don't know why. Like I didn't think the Witcher main series was particularly popular. And it's a prequel. It's set 1,000 years before Geralt.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got no one in there I think that and it's just set in the universe and it's terrible and no one cares. There's no actors in it that anyone knows of and it's getting absolutely panned. And the woman is all like, oh yeah, it's we're really excited about expanding this universe, blah blah blah. I mean, talk about running before you've learnt to walk. That show is dead. It's absolutely dead. They'll put out the 3rd season, it'll flop and it'll be gone. I mean, that's what happens when you get rid of the actual draw card.
Not just that too. Like he was a champion for doing it. I assume that he wanted to do it the way it was meant to be done. And the first season was pretty good. Like I'm not going to say it's the best thing ever. It was good. A solid 8, maybe 9. Maybe that's a stretch. But the second season,
jam-packed so much into that first season that when they did the recap on the second, I couldn't believe that was all one season. We were like, this is surely season 3. There was so much in that first season. And then the second season, there was nothing in it.
Yeah, they just went away from everything that the first season was. It's like they get the hooks into stuff and just ruin it.
That was all ideological. He was apparently fighting them the whole way, but it's their show. They can do what they want. So
40K, dude, that could be if he has some sort of control over that.
Are you into 40K?
I used to play fantasy, so like there's two versions of it. There's like fantasy, which is like your ancient times with like goblins and skeletons, all that kind of crap, and then you got your 40K, which is set in 40,000 years, right? That I didn't play that one. I played the fantasy one, but the storyline's really interesting. I actually think you'd really dig it. I think you'd really like it. I think if he does it the way he wants to do it and the way it should be done, it could be something that's really, really amazing.
Well, he's the producer. So he's the producer. He's got creative control.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's the showrunner, but he's a massive nerd.
Yeah.
Like that's what we know about him. He's a massive nerd and he never countenances any attacks on the fans. So, I mean, as long as Amazon let them do it the way they want to do it, hopefully it should be good. I know a lot of people, they look at, It's Disney, it's Netflix, it's Amazon. It's going to suck. But there's a lot of good shit that gets made by these companies when they give the reins over to creative people.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how much Netflix invested, if they invested at all, into Arcane, but that's where it played. Disney put out tons of great stuff, even over the last 10 years, but it's all about who was making it. They also put out some absolute like dog shite. So I got to get my Arcane mention in at least once a stream. So.
Crackett says, I guess it depends on how much creative control they give him. I can't imagine that he'd do that without having a lot of creative control.
The rumor is it's he has full creative control. That's the rumor.
It could be
but,
amazing.
You know, when the rubber hits the road, we'll see.
Dude, I'll send you a video. I watched it the other day. It's like 40 minutes, but it sums up all the Warhammer 40k lore really nicely. It's really
I'd
interesting.
be interested in that. So I'd like to go in not 100% blind. Although I did that with Arcane and that was fine. If you like Terminal List as well, that guy, the dude who wrote the books, he was there on set every day.
Yeah.
And he had a team of SEALs with him who were like more, knowledgeable about different aspects of the tech, the weaponry, the tactics and everything. Obviously, I mean, he wrote the book, but he was there the whole time, every day on set, making sure that it was all accurate. So it's not as if these companies can't do it. They just have to actually let people do it.
Crackhead says, hope he does. Cavill's been screwed over twice now on franchises he was 100% committed to. I can't believe they did him that dirty on Superman as well, man. That was crazy.
Oh, I can.
Oh, yeah.
That I couldn't care less about the DCU. I mean, it's just I don't care. I'm not interested in really any of them. Now, if they do end up putting out something that's good, I'll watch it. But I'm not I'm more excited to see Avatar: The Last Airbender or this 40k thing. I want to see stuff that I haven't seen 1,000 times before. If they go back and do another origin Superman story, forget about it. And Batman, what Shane is always like, if I have to see those pearls fucking dropping one more time.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a couple of years. I'll probably have to do another re-origin of Batman soon. I was gonna say, with 40k, like one of the I guess the best points about it, it's set so far in the future. Lots of sci-fi is set 100 or 1,000 years from now, in that kind of realm. This is set 40,000, so it's really pushing, and lots of things have happened. It's good. It's good. I had a question, Bancroft, for you when you were talking about stuff before. It's a bit spicy. Outside of acting, have women brought anything into Hollywood?
Yes, they have, but not to the same degree. And it's funny that you should ask me that, because we were watching some movies that made us over the last couple of days. You know that Netflix series?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that? We know Ghostbusters and Die Hard.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to watch it, because it's such a great insight into how these, groundbreaking films got made. And it's so different to how they get made today, where they get together all these diversity panels, and they get a whiteboard and talk about how diverse and inclusive they're going to make this project, and then we end up with what we end up with. So it's cool to see. Yeah, there are women in the there doing things.
So in costumes.
No, there are women there. They have their roles, they have their parts to play. I think that's probably where There you go. Schneely says loads of great women editors. There you go. The woman who edited Star Wars. She saved Star Wars. That was George Lucas's wife at the time. At least according to that YouTube video I watched.
Roberta Williams. So Bancroft, if you had a button right now sitting in front of you, right, a big red button, and it removed all women apart from the actresses from Hollywood right now,
I don't think it's the women that's the issue. I think women have been an issue in a lot of things, but I don't think that's what's going on in Hollywood. I don't think it's like a sex thing. I think it's a whole range of other issues that it's going wrong here. I mean, it's just how the movies are made. It's the internet. It's streaming. It's everything. I mean, it's just the whole thing has changed. But at the same time, yeah, all the best directors are men, and that's because that's a very specific kind of job that requires certain set of skills.
Talent. Do you do New Year's? I've had no interest in New Year's for many a year now.
I never did New Year's growing up. We were always up in Queensland visiting family when I was a kid, and my extended family were always very much the kids go to bed at 6 o'clock, and then the parents stay up and get drunk. So I missed it for the first, I don't know, 17 years of my life. And then after that, we went and we stayed in Asia with my dad. It was up until, my early 20s or something. So it was only until I was in my 20s when I actually had the opportunity to celebrate New Year's. And by then I was just like, it wasn't really a part of my life. So I did it a little bit, and then I was like, whatever.
I don't get the appeal of it, right? So to celebrate New Year's here, I'd have to catch a train. Well, I mean, to do it the right way, I'd have to catch a train to the city, which would take over an hour to go and stand with a million other people looking at fireworks for 10 minutes. There is no appeal for that.
How is that doing it right? That sounds like a fucking nightmare.
It sounds horrible. That's why I don't get it.
Then you got to get on the train with a gazillion other people who are drunk
people
and throwing up and yelling on the way back. No thanks.
But maybe it's an American thing because they like fireworks. You guys like fireworks?
No, I think Americans just that more of them live in the city. I don't know. I don't know. These days we just go to a friend's place, and we can take all our kids. All our kids know each other. Know that they've known each other their whole lives. So they just catch up and start running around the backyard, and drinks are had, and then we go home.
D says in Sydney, people start rolling up to get a good place for the first works at 5 a.m. I could not imagine anything.
I think that means the fireworks. Yeah, no, I don't care about it that much. No, I don't think I've ever actually seen it in real life. Big fireworks.
Where do you think Jim lives? I think Jim lives on a farm. That's what I imagine. No, you don't want to speculate? That's okay.
I know that wasn't really fair of me to say, because actually less than 14%, I read the other day, of Australians live in rural areas, but we mostly live in the suburbs. Almost all of Australia lives in suburbs, and they're really spread out.
Pock says every new year I think, damn, no apocalypse again. Take your kids to a big fireworks show. Yeah, I mean they do like a 9:30 p.m. one here. So maybe we'll go somewhere and watch that. But
I just don't know if there's very good ones around that within a distance that we could manage.
You know what
still enjoy
disappoints
the night.
Me with fireworks? It's always they set them off. It's boom, 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 boom. I want them to go crazy and set them all off in 30 seconds. Just insane.
Well, that's you. I mean, that explains your show. You love to blow your load.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
What's that?
You know what we did do that was fun
What?
a few nights before Christmas is we went out. We went to a restaurant, which we very, very, very rarely do. We went to a pizza place, and then we waited till it got a bit darker, and then we started driving around the neighborhood, finding cool lit up houses, and some of them put on actual displays, so you can actually walk into their front yard, and they have a setting there for you. And it's pretty crazy. We know all the best places, and there's this one street nearby that goes crazy with Halloween. So I said, "Oh, let's go see if they go crazy with Christmas as well." So we did, and they do. It's an entire street where it's absolutely berserk, and the kids love that. So that was like a bit like fireworks, I suppose.
Yeah, that's cool. My kid loves decorations too. She's like, "Ooh, that's my favorite, and that one's my favorite, and that one's my favorite." It's very sweet. It is very sweet. What's the plan next year, man? What do you got? What do you got happening? Big year for Bancroft?
Big year for Bancroft.
BYB?
Always a big
BYB?
year. Yeah. I'm counting down all the different iterations of the characters I still have to draw in Painted Death. I think I've got 14 Ellas left to draw. I've got something like 20 something Damons, and I'm doing that, and I'm finishing off the kind of climax of the book, the big final scene. It's all coming together, which is pretty exciting, and
Awesome.
a bit nerve wracking. So yeah, look, I've got big plans with the channel. I've got big plans with the books. We're over halfway through Fractured Mind now. And yeah.
Do you want to tell people about your plans for the channel? You brought it up the other day.
Oh, I mean, it's just growing it, like actually taking it seriously. There's a lot of YouTubers in Comicsgate, but not many do it seriously and practice best practices and all that sort of stuff. So that's my kind of probably going to be one of my New Year's resolutions, is to actually take the channel seriously. And for that reason, I've employed Mel. She'll be managing a lot of that stuff because there's a lot of SEO and content that you need to be kind of updating constantly that I just haven't been, because who the hell has time? Like, you're supposed to update your thumbnails and your titles regularly, and who has time to do that, honestly? So that's I can handball that stuff off, and then I'll probably start getting into shorts and that sort of stuff. I tried the videos, and the videos are great for growing the channel. Like, if you're not making content, if you're just live streaming, your channel is not growing. We figured that out already. We know that. But I have a comic that I need to make, and I can't be spending the amount of time that I was spending making videos. It's just not workable. So we're just sort of in the early stages of figuring all that out. But when we do, it'll be built properly, and there'll probably be one or two shorts released every day, grow the channel. I mean, it's funny because that sort of stuff, it's growth, but it's subs, and you got to be realistic with what that means. Subs are not like you guys in the chat, so the hope is, as always,
they're not like supporters. They're not like fans.
It's not. They're not part of the community. I get crazy support like you wouldn't believe from the chat.
I see.
Yeah,
amazing.
It's there. So it's more about reaching out and hoping that, okay, just say you get 5,000 subs. The hope is that maybe 100 of them will like the channel enough to join us in the chat. That's the hope. And then you've got, it's really a numbers game, essentially. Because otherwise, how do people find out that we got this cool chat? We got this cool chat happening with its cool books and all this sort of stuff. Lots of fun we have. It's hard to get that word out because most people aren't just going to stumble across some live stream.
Yeah, because it's so like we've talked about this to death. It's so niche that to find it would be borderline impossible. Like to come across it randomly.
You've got to already be looking for it.
Yeah. Mo says, Bancroft has never seen A Christmas Story, doesn't want to, has never seen It's a Wonderful Life, and has never seen live fireworks.
I've seen live fireworks. We just don't go into the city anymore. It's too far. And the local ones are like, whatever.
Merry Christmas, Jasper. Doc says, you guys like the bartender and we are in the bar. You're trying to get the traffic outside to come in is the trick. Yep, that's exactly right.
Exactly.
What did you? How has this year gone for you, do you think?
Oh, it's been amazing.
Highlights, lowlights?
The channel has definitely been a highlight. The channel growth, the chat, all that sort of stuff. I mean, that's really the like anyone in here who's making a book, and I know I see a bunch of you guys in the chat who are, you understand how friggin' difficult it is, and how stressful it is, and how little money you can make from it a lot of the time. So to me, the channel is the engine behind being able to do this full time. And I don't know exactly where I was in 2021 at the end of 2021, but nowhere near where I am now. I mean, it's really starting to take off. So it just makes me really hopeful that this can be a thing going forward.
Yeah, well, you've got the work ethic and the drive to make it happen. So I believe that you can. I just want to address this quickly. Jasper says, Jeremy, Lord Crackhead, will a face reveal grow your channel or kill your channel? I've seen Jeremy's face. I've seen streamers that have been hidden behind avatars that have done face reveals, and then once they reveal their face, it's like a nerd train wreck, right? It is not pretty to look upon. Crackhead, he's not unattractive. I think he'll be okay. What do you think, Mike?
I used to watch a guy who would write scripts and he would just play it with that robot voice, like that auto voice that they had way back in the day. It sounded like a robot. And he did really well. And then everyone told him, you got to get your face out there and you've got to use your voice. This guy was not pleasant to look at. He didn't have a good setup either. And then on top of that, he had the craziest, most ochre Australian drawl you've ever heard. He was like, I go, we gotta do something, and it killed his channel. Absolutely killed it. I didn't think that would happen to Jeremy. But if he does do it, I hope he does it well. Don't just come out potato camming and just with no background or anything. Like, do it well. If you're gonna do it well. I still remember when Sargon came out, and I was like, I don't know if I'll ever get used to this.
Jim says, was his name Nerdette? Mo says, Nerdette didn't sound Australian. She sounds like a person who smokes 2 cartons a day.
Yeah.
What other highlights you got for the year, man? All lowlights? All lowlights?
No, I mean, look, we did a lot of awesome launches. They're always my favorite shows. We had some crackers there. Obviously, Reaper Destroyer.
Yeah, that was
Boots and Heels did really well. Bookmarks versus stickers, but there, it was good. I think. What else? My experiment with doing my own thing, that went brilliantly.
How's that
You know, I
going?
made a ton of, even though it didn't really feel like it. When I actually do stop and look back, I made a ton of progress on Painted Death. I'm in such a better position than I was before.
Look at that. 6,000 US dollars. Yeah? US?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's
For just
great.
a little experiment. Can't really complain.
Eloise says, Bancroft, were you talking about Kemosabe?
No, it wasn't Kemosabe. No, it was it was back when I was on a kind of an MRA kick, and I was listening when that all kind of kicked off, and there was this dude, and yeah, he had a cool channel, and he did not have a voice or a face or a camera for YouTube, and it really did ruin him. But you know, that's why, like, actually, that he was probably the reason why I decided that, you know, if I ever did do a YouTube channel, I would you know, put my face out there from day one, just so there was never that moment of surprise.
Yeah. Doc says, love how your cover came out, guys. Top notch. Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
He didn't say guys at all.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't mention you in any way.
That's what he meant, though.
It's cool how people already got their puzzles. They came so quick. Those
Yeah.
Latvians, they don't take a break for Christmas.
It would have been really nice to give it to my wife for Christmas Day, but thanks.
Yours was the first one ordered. I don't know.
Thanks, Bancroft. Mo says, congratulations on 6K Bancroft. Though I can't say I approve of you throwing dollary dues under the bus.
I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. I don't. You know, I was thinking I could actually commission a developer to make that section exactly how we need it.
Yeah.
So everyone can use that as an app. But I don't know how much that costs. I don't know how feasible that is. But I mean, it's set in dollary dues in the dollar amount if you want.
What about you guys? Do you have any highlights from the year? You know, Bancroft, how we did the top 5 CG moments? I've got another one that I want to add to it that's just happened recently. Do you want to have a guess what it is?
No.
Something, its impact has been so profound and outstanding that everybody is in complete shock. Do you want to
this be?
Do you want to have a guess?
I'll just disappoint if I do. What is it?
Sorry, what did you say?
Oh, the wheel. It's the wheel.
The wheel!
I was just thinking, like, Jeremy said ISOM. I know Dale said ISOM, and I was like, no, it's not going to be something like that because that's actually no. All right, so I went the exact opposite. What was the exact opposite of the success of ISOM? The wheel.
The wheel.
Yeah, the wheel is
amazing.
really. I freely admit I was 100% wrong about the wheel. I mean, actually I should preface that every concern I had was validated, came true. Every issue that I predicted you would run into, you ran into. But still, somehow, it works. It does make it more entertaining. And when we asked, like, should I go to the wheel picker, which is the website, everyone in the chat was like, no, keep the wheel. The wheel plays. So, yeah.
I'm going to do a new version of it. I think that is test version 1. And I think we're gonna go for a foam board base Bancroft.
Yeah.
Because I don't know
Foam
about
core.
you.
It costs nothing. It's easy to cut out.
Mm-hmm.
You can get it with adhesive on it already.
Foam core? Is that what you said?
Yeah, you can get foam core. Yeah. Go to an art shop and get adhesive foam core. So it'll have a sticky. it'll have a sticky side on one side. You just peel off the wax paper, and then you can stick down whatever you want on it. Which which I suggest be something that you can write on and rub off easily.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but that moment that I pressed the power button and it didn't spin, that haunts my dreams.
As a highlight,
Haunts
That
my
was fun.
dreams. That has to
That
be
was good.
rectified. We have to fix that.
Well, that's that's what engineering is. You try
Yeah.
something, it doesn't work, you try again. People didn't make the rocket that got us to the moon on the very first try. They did some test runs first.
Halloween, a Deborah Hill production. How far behind is Jasper on the conversation? I think he's probably up to the part where I said, "Are women in Hollywood useless?" Is that what you're up to? I'm just going to assume it is. Crackhead says, some people say they expected me to look much older. I still get carded. Yeah, you've seen his face, haven't you?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Doc says, I mean, I could make you a wheel, but I'm not paying to ship it to Australia.
No, it's better if Rob makes it, because there's that bogan quality that you really can't replicate, for want of a better word.
I mean, people are talking mad trash here. Like, I could make a better wheel. But where's the wheel, guys? I'm the only
there's
one
a lot
who has
of.
a wheel.
I mean, you find that in comic. You find it online in general. There's a lot of talkers out there, but there aren't as many doers.
Mm.
We found that out. I mean, anyone can say they're going to do something, but
He says, I said retardedly. Some of us were alive for the moon landing. I wasn't. Wheel of Fortune is better, Rob. Don't come here and lie, Slacker. Just don't come here and lie. We tell truth on this channel sometimes. What else you got going on?
Not much, really. I mean, it's the time to relax a little bit, which means I'll be drawing frantically.
Yep.
And
are you still sick or are you better?
I'm better. I'm
how's
better.
Your teeth?
I'm still tired, and I don't know if that's a result of my sickness or that's me just getting old. Because I hear everyone says, when you sort of get to after 40, you start getting tired a lot. So that might just be my new life now. Is come 3 or 4 o'clock, I need a little power nap, and it's not long, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and I'm good to go. But yeah, I just really hit a wall in the mid afternoon. I'm just like, I gotta lie down. I don't know if that's the new me.
Pork Hunt for 5. Catherine Bigelow is another exception to your women in Hollywood rule. She was what made James Cameron films better. Naps are great. Yeah. Dude, I never used to be able to sleep during the day. Like, never. Would not happen under any circumstances. Now, man, I fall asleep all the time. Can you fall asleep in a chair?
I love it. Oh, yeah. I can fall asleep anyway.
Yeah.
I did yesterday, just like this.
It's like I have to get to a certain level of comfort to make it work for me. Well, we might wrap it up, Bancroft, in a minute, I think. Just wanted to do a quick stream and wish everyone a Merry Christmas. And I hope, I hope to see you all again next year. You guys have been amazing supporters of myself, Bancroft, and CG in general. Yeah. What if you bought a cheap spinning hubcap? That seems ultra bogan. No. Let's not go backwards. Let's try and go forwards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Raiden Radio says, sorry, I'm late. I start over. Dude, you missed it all. It was amazing. Fantastic.
Best show ever. Best show since Christmas.
That's right. Oh, yes. Bancroft. New segments. So I'm thinking for the show this year, obviously we need to do a new intro. Mo's been calling for it for 2 years. However long we've been doing it for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking of adding 2 segments in Bancroft. Let me run these past you. You know what grinds my gears will be a segment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's the whole show, but
Mm-hmm.
continue.
I mean, maybe it is. And Rob's musings of the week. So you know how we got the snail, the beautiful snail thing.
Yeah.
The beautiful snail. What else
The
came out?
millionaire immortal snail with a
Yeah.
suitcase with $1 million.
Yes, that storyline.
Deadly snail. Yep.
What other random questions can I ask you to get your input on? Those kind of things.
Yeah.
More snail and ribs talk. I mean, that's what we're all here for, isn't it? Snail and ribs. Jasper is
It's the randomness of it all.
He's desperately trying to catch up here. I heard shorts, what YouTube is encouraged creators to do. I hate shorts. I actually like shorts, I gotta say.
Yeah, it's like that's the thing. It wouldn't be for you guys. It would be a lot. It would be short clips of me going over the same stuff that we talk on the streams about. But it's about reaching to a wider audience. And yeah, I didn't like them as much when they first came out, but I like them more now because I think people are just getting better at them and understanding what people want from them. So I do, I don't mind. Yeah, every now and then I'll just flick through whatever shorts are in there, and sometimes it's interesting. And but you're right, YouTube is really pushing them now harder than ever. So I'll be we'll see. I mean, I think the sky's the limit. I've seen evidence, actual channel evidence, of people who've managed to do really well with them. So not just sort of pie in the sky. Oh, you can get 10,000 subs doing this. Like people have actually done it, and you can go and watch their shorts.
My first short got 3.6 thousand views. It went rapidly downhill from there, but I mean, there's potential there.
Well, that's the thing. Like there's a way to make them, and there's a method to doing it on your channel. Same thing with the videos. Jeremy knows this as well with the videos as well. Sometimes I do a good video and I get 5,000 views. Sometimes I do a shit video and I get a couple of hundred. And so it's like figuring out, okay, what's good, what's not good. But it's just, for me, it's too much work to do and the comic. So like the shorts, if Mel's kind of managing them and all I have to do is, speaking to a microphone for 20 seconds, that I can manage. But the videos, the 10 to 15 minute videos is just, I still, the whole reason we're doing this is because I want to make a comic. It's not to become a YouTuber. So
Jim says subs that spend money, subs that put you into a high advertising partnership category, or just subs that make your sub count look good so YouTube can hype you to paying advertisers.
Well, I mean, growing the channel does good things. People probably don't want to talk about this, but there's a certain level of clout that comes with the sub count, and that clout can open doors to bigger platforms, bigger YouTubers. You see like, oh, why is this person on Flashcast or Friday Night Tights? And you go and you look them up and you're like, oh, they've got 20,000 subs. No, it makes sense. There's the thing. But I think for me, the biggest thing is just finding new people. So you obviously, if you're just getting people who are watching random shorts and they sub to your channel, they're not there for the hour-long streams or the launches or anything like that. But the hope is that just say you get, out of every 1,000, you get a few who would be interested in that, then that's great. And as well, the bigger your channel, the more likely it is to be recommended, not only to people who have already subbed to you, but just to other random people. And if people do sub, then that's more likely that they're going to get recommended one of my live streams and hopefully come and take part.
you're kind of hoping to find people like a new Jim Cox or a new Mo Biggs or a new crackhead, like people like that. You're trying to find other people
It's
like
trying to
that.
grow the community, yeah. And
Mm.
if we can keep doing this. We can just sit on streams and do our shows and make our shows better. And there might be a little bit of growth here and there, but it's not going to be massive. And eventually people do start dropping off. I mean, that's just what happens. That's
Yeah.
YouTube. I mean, you can't stop that. I mean, I don't watch all the same people that I was watching 10 years ago or 5 years ago, at least not in the same frequency that I used to. And that's just YouTube.
And I guess you've got
So
to bring in more people that are disappearing, I guess, as well.
exactly. Yeah.
Otherwise, you're in serious trouble.
Yeah. And the whole point of doing this thing is so that we can sell books. And for me, I want to have YouTube be a serious revenue stream. Like one of us, like a proper revenue stream. It's already, I mean, the growth over the last year has been insane in that front. So, I can't, there's only so many guys like you, Jim, or D, or Sumo, or Nolan, or Nate, like all you guys who are super generous. And I can't like expect that you guys are going to continue to be like that in perpetuity. But, the broader your audience, the more likely that memberships grow, more people come and they say, "Oh, this is really cool. What's happening over here?" And then we can do launches. Like even a year ago, we were doing launch streams to 30 people. Yeah, that's not happening now. Now the launch streams are like 100 or 150.
Yeah, 150.
And that's what you want. That's the goal. Imagine in a year's time, what if the launch streams are to 300 people?
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Catch you later, D man. Have a good nap. Merry Christmas.
See you, D.
Doc says Anna the Star Wars girl knows a lot about YouTube functionality. You guys should ask her if she has any tips. See, that's a good idea, but I think the problem is like you need someone to break it down into lots of detail. Don't you think, Bancroft? Like you can't just get a few tips here and there that's going to change everything. Like you need someone to actually like break it down how to do it properly.
Oh yeah, and there are people out there who are doing that.
Yeah.
I'm watching a ton of YouTube videos on how to YouTube essentially, and I'm learning a ton. And I'm learning about all these resources you can use that everyone's using, but almost none of us are. And all the big YouTubers like Anna and all those all the Fandom Menace people and the Quartering, they're all using all these things and systems and stuff. I don't necessarily have time to get into it. That's the issue. So that's why I'm like, hey, Mel, kind of, let's do this together. You work on the channel, help grow the channel while I'm drawing the comic. I see Jim says, imagine if you did more of those animations. Yeah, obviously, but the animations are like, you can either make a comic or you can do animations. I don't think you can do both. They are even when they're really simple, they're that time consuming. So, but I can talk into a camera for 20 seconds. That's no problem.
Eloise says, I recommend watching Think Meter, Channel Makers, and Vanadu Lau. Bancroft, Jasper says, Anna is more attractive than most YouTubers. That's the advantage. Is there a scenario where you do a show with some random hot chick to increase your views? Is that something you've considered?
Not really, because like you don't want to have it so that they're there just to check out the hot chick. There's plenty of middle-aged dudes who look like me or worse than me who have many magnitudes more viewers than I do, and they've made it just fine because they've worked at it and they've built their audiences and they've got people in there. Yes, obviously, if you are a hot chick who doesn't mind showing a bit of skin, your rise will be a lot quicker, but it'll also be for a lot different reasons as well. So
will Mel feature more frequently on the
I would
channel?
love Mel to feature more frequently on the channel. I would love it. She's like, she's a woman, you know. They're very concerned
so.
about how they come across.
Mm.
She is. she is. You know,
Cool.
like me, I don't care. You know, I
Mm.
just come
You're
on
like,
here and talk. And
as long as I got
whatever,
my
and-
black t-shirt on, I'm good to
exactly.
go.
Yeah, I'm hidden here. You can't see
Mhm.
anything that's happening down here.
Yeah,
and that's how you do it.
exactly. All right, we're going to wrap it up there. Everyone, please have a great Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We'll see you all in the new year. This show will continue. Mike's got a bazillion things happening. The game show is happening. Camel Nights is happening. It's gonna be a good year. Make sure you go check out Jeremy's 2022 CG yearly review and airing of grievances. That could be really interesting.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention before New Year's we've got to do the wrenchies, so that'll be coming up as well.
Will it though?
Yes.
Will it though? All right.
Yes.
Oh, call the segment a daily dose of Mel. I think maybe you could wrangle her into like 1 10-minute segment a week. I reckon she'd manage that.
Well,
Any
if you
more?
guys want
Maybe
it,
not.
like she doesn't listen to me. Yeah, you guys got to ask for it. So.
She listens to super chats because I super chatted her the other day, bringing Mel, and she's like, "All right." So I mean,
That's true.
there you go. That works. All right, guys. Have a Merry Christmas. We'll see you all later. No outro.
See ya.
We're just going to end it. Catch you later.
Bye. Are you gonna end it, or are you just gonna?
Again.
You're still live. You realize?
I did it again.